A couple of days ago, Mr. Thrive and Survive invited Soundly to prove the Earth is flat or round by providing the information and opportunity for him to recreate Soundly's footage from Lake Ponchartrain. In his invitation, Mr. Thrive and Survive, Rich, made a couple of statements that show he doesn't understand the globe Earth model. But before I start, I want to place an ad hominem attack on Rich. Rich seems to be quite religious. Now, I don't have a problem with religious people, but I do have a problem with hypocrisy. If I'm not mistaken, he believes the Bible says the earth is flat. In his video, he refers to eating seafood and wanting to eat crawfish, which of course he is disallowed to eat. In Leviticus 11:9-12, it is forbidden for Rich to eat anything from the water that doesn't have fins and scales. Now, why do I mention this? Well, it seems Rich cherry-picks his beliefs. Apparently he believes the Bible when it tells him the earth is flat, but he disobeys God when he wants to eat seafood. So, I'm guessing that even when he confirms the curvature at Lake Ponchartrain, he will find a way to claim Earth is flat and how it's all an optical illusion of some sort. Back to his video. He appears to want to go to Lake Ponchartrain and, with the help of a professional photographer, and perhaps even Soundly himself, he wants to recreate Soundly's footage. He then makes some statements like, "You can't have a bulge in the middle just sitting there. Imagine a pool with a device pushing water into a bulge. When you remove the device, the water will flow back to the edges." He then refers to the waves and swells on sea, after which he says, if he confirms the bulge, he needs to find out what force causes that bulge. He is convinced a bulge of water cannot stay still in place. Following these statements, I responded with a comment explaining how the bulge doesn't really exist, but I figured it's easier to explain with some pictures, so here it goes. He says, "You can't have a bulge in the middle just sitting there," making me think that this is how he expects the water to bulge. A flat plane with a bulging surface of water. Now that is ridiculous. The diagram on MetaBunk explains the bulge quite good. It is a mere trigonometry tool to use. It is a physical, non-existing bulge because the flat line from point A to point B underneath the surface of the Earth is a physically non-existing line, making the bulge non-existent. It shows better with a full circle. The circumference of the circle is the surface of the Earth. The shortest distance from A to B goes underneath the surface of the Earth and is an imaginary line. The photographer is also on the curved surface. There is no flat plane the way Rich seems to think there is. The chord is just a calculating tool in trigonometry. This circle has a diameter of 500 pixels. The radius is 250 pixels and the angle from A to B through the center of the Earth is 72 degrees. That means that the distance from A to B over the chord, the shortest distance underneath the surface of the Earth, is 294 pixels. But the arc length, the distance from A to B over the surface of the Earth or over the water surface, is 314 pixels. Leaving a bulge in the middle that has a height of 48 pixels. As you can see, the distance from A to C, B to C, and T to C are each 250 pixels. Now, Rich says that if he finds a bulge in the middle, he needs to find out what force holds that there. That, Rich, would be gravity. You see, there is no height difference between points A, B, and T. They are all 250 pixels from the center, and gravity pulls each molecule to the center of the Earth, so there is no force working sideways. I am disregarding things like wind or external forces causing waves on the surface, but the water itself won't flow sideways because there is no elevation difference. It is all equal. The water is level relative to the center of the Earth. Only if Earth were flat water on such a bulge would flow sideways because there would be an elevation difference or a height difference. However, on the globe, the curved surface has an about equal distance to the center of the planet, causing the water not to flow sideways. It is just being pulled downwards toward the center of the Earth. This is as clear as I can make it. Let me know if you think I screwed up, and thanks for watching.